If you hear kids screaming in the background, Jaden is playing out with his friends and you're just gonna hear it during the whole video. Oh my god. Anyways, hi guys and welcome back to my channel. I'm currently freezing cold right now. The situation I'm in right now is I just don't understand. Basically, we are all the way in Kingston getting Enzo's hair done at his regular, it's not barbers, it's like he gets his twist or dreadlocks done and then his trim or shape up, whatever you want to call it. It normally takes like honestly like 5 hours to do, and I've just decided that I'm gonna sit in the van. We took Johan's work van, so I've decided that I'm gonna sit in the van. And so whilst I'm sitting in the van, Jaden's playing outside with his friend. His friend literally lives like next door to the hair place. So guys, I've had to literally tell these lot to like keep it down a bit because this is also a residential road and they are just screaming. I feel like it's the other kid that's doing the screaming for no reason. So yeah, like if you've been around for a while, you would know that I used to always film on my iPhone and then I got a camera. I'm currently filming on my iPhone because obviously I didn't think like, oh, let me take the camera to the hair salon because I wasn't gonna vlog or anything. Now that I'm gonna be sitting in this van for hours and hours and hours, I was like, I have my iPhone, why not just film a video? And I had a video in mind, filming something. Whilst I'm gonna be in the van for hours and hours and hours, I just thought, why not just film something? Because so normally like when I go through like people's YouTubes and stuff, I kind of get put off when people are like always talking about like relationships, just like the same typical stuff. But this one for me is a little bit different because it's a bit interesting because I'm kind of like putting in a bit of my own personal experiences. So as you can tell by the title, guys, by the way, if I didn't tell you already to subscribe down below and turn your post notifications on, then do that before you continue watching this video. But as you can tell by the title, this is the common relationship talk. I don't want to make this like really formal. I'm like, so I kind of just want to touch base on pretty much everything, whether that's like insecurities, trust issues, paranoia, toxicness, arguments, how to keep the spark in a relationship, and blah 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 blah. This is not advice. I literally say in all my relationship videos that my relationship is not perfect, so I apologize if I come across as if my relationship is the best and I'm telling you guys how to like be like us, because that's not what I'm doing at all. My leg is itchy. But yeah, so I pretty much just kind of like share my own experiences with relationships and how I've grown in relationships. If you guys want to do what I done, you don't want to do what I done, like that's fine. This video is not even for you to do what I've done. It's just people will interpret I can't believe I just said interpret. People will interpret your videos how they want to interpret it, basically. So obviously, as you know, unless this is your very first video, I am in a relationship right now and we are coming up to 4 years together, which will basically be the longest relationship that I've had. It's like my most stable, healthiest relationship, blah blah blah. Like this is the man that I'm gonna marry, this is the man that I have kids with and expecting another one with. I'm gonna have 3 kids by the end of this year, guys, honestly. The way that our relationship is right now compared to the beginning is very different, and if you guys go back to my video, which is called My Relationship Exposed, some of the stuff that I said in that video I might repeat in this video and add more, who knows. I would have mentioned that I came into this relationship with really bad trust issues and I was pretty much a really toxic person, I would say. And to be honest with you guys, it genuinely does take a lot for a person to admit that they are toxic, because it's normally something that people are quick to point the finger and be like, this person's toxic. But I feel like when you're toxic yourself, you don't really know that you are toxic, because it's like a pattern of behavior. It's you as a person, so why would you think you're toxic? You're always going to think that, you know, you're right. You kind of don't see the way that your actions affect others, so you wouldn't find it toxic. But the person that you're being toxic to, or people that are around you, would notice that you are toxic. So it took a while for me to realize that I was toxic. In the beginning of the relationship, we were really close friends before we got together. So I wouldn't really say I was toxic in the beginning, because it was pretty much like a friendship for a good half of the year, and things got really complicated once we moved in together, because I feel like when you live with someone, you really get to know them. I feel like it really is like a make or break, as well as kids are a make or break. I feel like living together is also a make or break, because when we're not living together, it's kind of like we miss each other You know, I was working, he was working. When he was free, he'd be like, I'll come pick you up from work, let's go cinema, let's go eat. And, you know, like, I used to like live at my mum's house, and then I lived in South with my friend, and it was like falling asleep on the phone, waking up and checking your phone and seeing if they've texted you, you know, being at work and sneak into the toilet to like message them, and sexting, and just basically just all the stuff that you do in a relationship. If you don't sext, then my bad. But it's basically like, it's really exciting. You're kind of like in the honeymoon stage of it all, and you're excited to when you're next gonna see them, and you're excited for date nights and blah 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 blah. Then when you live together, it's kind of like, okay, so like, when do I get to miss you? You know, we're in each other's face 24/7, and then you start getting annoyed at little things. Like, I get annoyed at Joe because he doesn't close the rice cooker. He just leaves it like that, and then the rice gets hard. And to be honest with you, thinking about it now, I'm actually starting to get pissed off. But I'm joking. He gets annoyed with me because I leave my clothes in the bathroom. Like, when I go have a shower or bath, I take off my clothes, and then I leave them like on the floor or hanging on the door, and then I just don't remove it, and then he has to end up removing it. He gets annoyed because when I finish eating in the living room, I leave my plate on the table because I'm like, okay, I cooked, I'm assuming that you're gonna clear the plates. But we both have habits that kind of annoy the other person, and sometimes it can turn into arguments. And when you're not living together, like, that kind of stuff wouldn't annoy you. Like, if he was to like come to my house, we weren't living together, and he goes to use my bathroom, for example, and he sees that I've left my clothes on the door, like, he's not gonna care because like, it's not my house. Girls are more different, I feel like, because I feel like if I was to go to his house and I've seen that he left his rice cooker open, I'll be like, what the hell? I feel like girls are more likely to like go to the guy's house and start doing like some tidying up and being like, oh my god, like, why are you living like this? It's just tiny little pet peeves that would annoy you about the other person. Or like, if someone gets into their bed with socks on, and you guys are probably thinking, if you're not living with your partner, you're probably thinking like, that sounds lit, like, I would love for that to be what we're arguing about. The most minor things can blow out of proportion and turn into really big arguments. And sometimes you're just not in the mood, and just that little thing that the person does, it does piss you off, and you're just kind of like, I really do not want to see your face today, do not want to talk to you, like, you left the rice cooker on, you're pissing me off, literally. You kind of learn to adjust to that person, and I feel like instead of trying to mold that person into who you want them to be, or mold them into your ideal person to live with, I feel like you've just got to accept that everybody lives different, and you've kind of just got to make it work. You have to combine the two and make it work. So, you know, I've repeated myself 10,000 times not to leave the rice cooker open. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But when I do see it happen now, rather than getting annoyed, I'm kind of like, okay, maybe when he was living at home with family, that was just a habit, or maybe, I don't know, but he's not doing it on purpose, so I'm not gonna like get angry over it. It's annoying, but if I see it, I'm just gonna close it. Same way with him. Sometimes, yes, as soon as I finish getting the shower, I take my towel and go to the bedroom. If he sees my clothes and I have forgotten to put it away, he'll just put it away for me. It's just like these little annoying habits that we've kind of just learned to live with. But yeah, it's just kind of like these little annoying habits. Jesus. That we've learned to live with, and in the end, it does bring you closer. One of the questions that I got was, how do you keep the spark in a relationship, in a long-term relationship, basically? I'm guessing when you've been with someone for so long, how do you still make it feel like how it did in the beginning? This is something that I really struggled with, because for a while it kind of felt like I was living with my housemate almost. I feel like you get so used to each other, and sometimes I had to be reminded, like, when I come home from work, like, you can kiss me, you know, like, you can greet me. And for me, it almost, move out of the way. For me, it almost felt like, okay, like, my friend's coming home from work, like, you just get so comfortable. And then especially when you have kids as well, date night is a myth. It's honestly a myth. You know, we have 2 kids, so you can imagine trying to find a solution for someone to look after both kids while we go on date night. I would actually say date night is the answer. And one thing that we do, our thing, I feel like every relationship, like, you all have your thing, and our thing is movie night. Pretty much every single night, apart from recently because I'm pregnant, I get tired super early, so I'm just like not on it. Pretty much every single night we link up in the living room at 10 p.m. and watch a movie on Netflix, and we always have snacks, and that's kind of like our time. So in the day, like, I'm with the kids all day and he's at work all day, but when he comes home, there's that to look forward to. So I feel like, yeah, one of the things to keep a spark in a relationship is have things to look forward to, whether you're in a position to book vacations all the time, whether you're in a position to go out all the time, or you just in a position like, for example, because we have kids, it's not that easy to be going out all the time, it's not that easy to be going to vacations all the time, but you can still spend time at home, and that will still keep the spark in your relationship. For us, we literally just cuddle up on the sofa, watch a movie, and for me, that makes me look forward to something. For me, it keeps the spark in my relationship. We also really try to go out, going out to dinner, you know, dropping the kids off at my mum's house and me and him just going out for dinner, or me and him just going out to the cinema, something that we do quite often. I feel like it doesn't cost to keep the spark in your relationship. And the reason why I'm saying both, whether it's something at home, is because not everybody has the means to be going on dates all the time, and not everybody has the means to be going on vacation all the time. But anything that is just you and that person together is a way to definitely, I would say, keep the spark in a relationship. We are going away next month. It was supposed to be just me and him, but we couldn't get someone to watch both kids. So we're now bringing one kid, and a child is going to stay with his mum, whilst me and him also have time to ourselves to just like go out and enjoy each other. And I feel like when you're away from whatever country you're in, for us, because we're in the UK, we're in London, when we're away from London, everything is just so much better, and you you just don't want to come home. I feel like it's basically like our happy place when we travel together, whether it's with kids or not, to be honest. Every single holiday we've ever had since we've met has always been with the kids. And as lovely as it is to like have family time, it would also be really lovely to just have like me and Joe time. Do you know what I mean? So I think that pretty much answers the spark question. Another question somebody wrote, something like, she's 21. I don't know if it was a boy or girl actually, but they said that they are 21 and their partner is 31, and they've pretty much like kept their relationship private. I think I'm gonna do a part 2 to this video and answer that question on the next video, because with this video I kind of wanted to not so much focus on answering questions, but more of like a chilled like talk video, like a chatty one. But I definitely will answer the questions, because I just feel like there's no point of me answering 2 questions only or 3 questions, because I don't remember the questions, because I don't have my phone, because I'm filming with my phone. So I definitely will answer them, but this one I've kind of just focused on spark in a relationship and toxicness. I don't even know if I've even spoken on toxicness. I feel like toxicness is habit, and it's also nobody telling you that what you're doing is wrong. Nobody there to kind of like, I guess, stick it on you and let you know, even if it's just like a friend or a family member. You know, sometimes when like something, or I don't do this anymore, but I definitely know, like in the beginning of my relationship, I would definitely message my friends and my sister and just kind of be like, I'm annoyed at him and he's done this and blah blah blah, and then I done this and this is what happened. I would have liked for my friends to pull me up on my behaviour and just kind of be like, what you've done is actually crazy, like you're just being too paranoid, like he hasn't done anything wrong, blah blah blah. But because my friends are more kind of like, oh my god, like how could he blah blah blah, I'm like, okay, so my behaviour is normal, like even my friends know it's normal, blah blah blah. But really and truly, my friends are just crazy like me. So I kind of had no one to pull me up on my behaviour, and I feel like girls are pretty much the same. Majority of us, we like overthink, and it's just like, it's not good. I would say maybe I was toxic in the sense that it started with overthinking, which led to accusations and blah 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 blah. But what changed that was definitely communication. And when you realize that, okay, this is 100% the man that I want to marry, like this is 100% like I'm ready to settle down with this person, you kind of start to work on yourself and question yourself and realize that, okay, maybe I can handle arguments better, maybe I can handle conversations better. Maybe when something is bothering me, instead of saying like, oh, I'm fine, I could actually say, actually, yeah, like this is bothering me. Or without even waiting for the person to ask you like what's wrong, for you to be like, yeah, this is bothering me. And the person that taught me that was my partner. I was kind of the broken one in the relationship when I joined, and he was normal. I'm not saying that broken people are not normal, but he definitely fixed me, I would say. My past, even with my dad and everything, my past all the people that I was involved with broke me. And if you don't work on yourself and you're still broken and you meet somebody else whilst you're broken, you are going to end up breaking that person also. But because my partner is so mentally strong and so sure of themselves and what they kind of bring to the table, and also is very sure of my potential, and just kept saying to me that like I see potential in you kind of thing, like you're not a lost cause, you're not as broken as you think you are, like there is a way to fix it. This kid keeps on going in the middle of the road. I don't know why his parents let him do that. He was just basically like, I'm gonna stick around until you become the woman that you're supposed to be. Not for me, he said like not for himself but for myself, and then it would benefit him obviously. Nobody in this blood clot world has ever said that to me, and I think that's what made me realize that yep, this is my husband, like 100%. And then you kind of think, why would I not want to make an effort on my trust issues? Why would I not want to make an effort on my toxicness and blah blah blah? Like when you're so sure on someone and you know that you don't want to lose that person, and when you've acknowledged your wrongs, like as long as you're not one of those people that are like never think that they are wrong and always think the other person's wrong, like you can actually acknowledge and be like, yes, like there is a problem, I'm not handling this the way I should and it's breaking my relationship. As long as you are that person that can acknowledge when you are wrong and not always pointing the finger, then you can absolutely be on your way to having an amazing relationship. And it took years of patience from his side, years of patience, and it makes you appreciate them more, because it's like, okay, I didn't believe in myself but you believed in me, and that made me end up believing in myself, and that is the greatest gift that anybody could have possibly given me. Because if you are a broken person, you will know that you can absolutely be broken for your entire life if you don't do anything to fix your situation. If I didn't meet somebody like Joe, and I kept on meeting guys that were kind of like, oh, you are a headache, like I cannot deal with your BS all the time, if I kept on dealing with boys like that, I would absolutely be broken for the rest of my life. It would be hard for me to find anybody. It would be hard for me to find a husband, to get married, to even like maintain friendships, because when you're toxic, you're not just toxic to your partner, you're also toxic to friends and family and just anybody around you. And to have somebody that is pretty much sacrificing their young years and could have been in a healthy relationship from the start, for somebody to like love you to that extent where they're like, I am going to stick around no matter what, because I know that this relationship can be amazing and you can be amazing, like that is definitely a gift in itself. It's so rare to genuinely find people like that. I feel like especially in our age, like we're not babies, we're not kids, but we are still super young. There's someone our age, like 25, 26, to be, and normally it should be normal, but I feel like this generation is just super childish, for somebody to actually willingly not just give up and go find somebody that's not broken in the first place. It's really hard to find someone like that, and I definitely feel like God put Joe in my life for a reason. He didn't put him in my life to fix me, but he put him in my life for me to want to fix myself, for me to have something worth fighting for. And for me to fight for it involves me working on myself, because I can't fight for the relationship if I'm not right within, if that makes sense. Obviously, I still have work to do, but if you see the way I am now compared to the way I was years ago, you'd be like, damn, girl. Like, I'm now, I would say I'm probably the least craziest friend now out of my group of friends. That's a big change for me, guys, because I'm pretty sure I was the craziest. Yeah, no, it was communication, and it's also the person that you're with, if they are willing to be patient. And if you are not in a relationship and you have toxic traits, or you're broken, whatever, or had daddy issues like me, then I would say work on yourself before getting into a relationship, to be completely honest with you. Definitely work on yourself before getting into a relationship. Literally just went from relationship to situationship to relationship. It just was not healthy. And as the years go on and I get older and I kind of experience more in my relationship, I definitely see my wrongs over the years, but I definitely don't regret them, because I grew, like the fuck. Literally grew from it. And yeah, even sometimes when me and my partner talk about it, we're like, oh my god, could you imagine if this happened like 2 years ago? You would literally be going mad, and you would literally be doing this and blah blah blah, or you literally be like, no, you can't do that. Like, sometimes we actually do like talk and look back at how far I've come, or just how far we've come as a couple. And sometimes I don't realize it. He's the one that has to literally be like, I'm proud of you. Like, literally, you know, if this was before, you would be doing this and you'd be doing that and you'd be acting like this. And it's actually true. Damn, guys, I'm actually a bad bitch. Like, what the hell? I'm such a grown, independent bitch. So proud of myself. I'm joking. But, yeah, obviously there's a lot more to talk about when it comes to relationships, because everybody has a different relationship. Damn, these are shouting. I can't believe these two kids are playing in the road. One of them is literally Jaden's age, and the other one I don't know. Jaden is like the only well-behaved kid that's on the pavement. I just don't understand. Anyway, yeah, like I said, I'm definitely going to be doing a part 2 because there's a lot more to touch up on. So that's why I recommend turning your post notifications on, because the next video is going to be the part 2. So if you've enjoyed this, then please give me a big thumbs up and comment down below if you would be interested in a part 2 and what you want me to touch base more on in part 2. Like, if you want me to continue talking about my personal experience, or if you want me to be, I don't know, like a bit more generic and speak on you guys' experiences, then maybe you can DM me on Instagram. I'll put my Instagram down below. Just basically, what about relationships would you like me to touch up on? I also will be answering some questions. And yeah, if you stay till the end, then thank you guys for watching. I am freezing. I'm actually gonna put my coat on because this is actually a joke. I might go inside as well, but then I don't want to ruin Jaden's fun. He's like having the time of his life. And then because we're here for so long, I literally like packed this with like nappies, wipes and snacks and fruits for the kids, because it's gonna be a long ass day. But yeah, like I said, before you go, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on your post notifications so you'll never miss another lit video. And I will see you guys with part 2 next week. So it's Sunday today. I don't know if this is gonna be up today, but the next part 2 is going to be up next week, if that makes sense. But anyways, yeah, thanks for watching. Bye, guys. I need to stop waving. It's actually starting to piss me off. Like, who even waves? Like, nobody waves. Like, if you want to see your friend, you wouldn't be waving. So anyways, bye, guys.